Hey there, everyone. I hope you are all doing good. Today we are going to check out the infamous, the cult source of uncertainty, 266T by Buchla and Tiptop Audio. Okay, I will try to show you, because there's already, as with all the other modules, great videos by Todd Barton, to name just him, but there's a lot of good videos that have been made on this. I will still, for those who are unfamiliar with this, break down the module into all its different parts, but this will be quick. And then I'm going to show you some patches that I've been enjoying and that I haven't seen too much around. Well, let's go like this. We start by noise sources. We have a few different flavors of noise. This is the darkest. So this is sort of white noise, sort of pink or blue, and this one is pink, I guess. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, we have three different noise sources. Then here we have what's called the fluctuating random voltages. It's way too often demonstrated on pitch, like most random stuff, which are going to do this kind of thing no one wants to hear. I really like to use them on the wave shape here. So what those voltages are, they're like their name suggests, they just fluctuate. And this is how fast they fluctuate. So it can be just like weird instability or just like super slow movement that you can barely notice actually. Yeah, so you have two of them. Then here we have like the most known part of this module, the quantized and stored random voltages. Those require a trigger or gate at their inputs to start working. If you don't send anything there, nothing is going to happen. I will keep doing this with the wave shape. I will plug this out. Taking the pulse out, the pulsar of the 245, and okay, now we see we have something. Okay, so this one, it's a bit of a weird one. Here I'm at the position 0, basically. And what it does is outputting either 0 volt or 10 volts. There's two different possibilities at the two outputs. The two outputs are different. As you can see, they're not outputting the same thing. As soon as you start increasing this, there will be more different steps. This one just outputs the whole range equally. It can be anything from 0 to 10 volt stepped by this. But this one does more around 5 volts and less of the very low or very high voltages. So let's keep this one here. I will plug this into a low pass gate. And as this one, for example, it expects 8 volts to fully open because it's not a Buchla module, it's a make noise module. So this will output less often the high voltages. It will most likely be around 5, so it should work nicely with this. It works really well with filters. As they are not fully correlated here. So it's not because this one is high that this one will be as well. So with just this module being clocked, you can send stepped random voltages to different places and have cool results. I love to use it like this. Then we have the stored random voltages. This one is easier. There's 2 outputs. One that is unaffected by this knob. It's just random. So let's use this. So it's just basically it's the same than this one. But this is affected by this one. And it's not really an attenuator, but if it's very low, it will output mostly low voltages, like below 5 and 0 volts. Here it will be picked at 5 volts and less, basically it will be a bit like this one. And this will output mostly high voltages and less of the rest. This is basically, we'll see the inputs, the control thing and what you can do with them later on. Then we have sample and hold. Like the typical sample and hold thing would be to make stepped random voltages. In order to do this, you need, let's say, a noise source that you plug to the CV input, a CV output. It will be, I will use it to control a filter. We'll keep this going. So I will mult my gate, my pulse signal here, and send it to the pulse in. So now this is telling to the sample and hold when it's supposed to sample things, and it's taking the white noise as a voltage generator. So we have random voltages applied on our filter. The weird thing happening with this, basically it's taking this, but this input that you have, and outputting the gates once here, once here, once here. So basically it's a clock divider, a flip-flop to be exact. So I could use this copy here to trigger this section of the random voltages only once every 2 steps. So at a different speed. And if I leave it there, what I have here is random gates, because it's only outputting 0 or 10 volts. So I will use this to trigger an envelope generator over there, the 281. I will take this second VCO that I'm not using. In the pass gate, plug this in the mixer. Set it very high. It will be triggered randomly. By this. I flip it to gate. FM. Oh yeah. And it's the same with the sample and hold here. Means that it will output the value that we have here stepping to output them alternately from those two. So you have your step voltages things that you can send to whatever else you want. Let's go wave shape here. So as I'm using the noise, it's getting bipolar. Let's go to the envelope length over there. Doesn't seem to affect it that much, but okay, so you can see that when you start to plug things in and out, I got carried away and just made stuff happen. Now let's start again at 0. Okay, let's use this VCO. Okay. The last part we have here that we haven't seen is what's called the integrator. It's actually a slew. What's a slew? It slows down voltages. So if I take this and make, let's go with this one, the stored random voltages. If I want this one to go do stuff on the wave shape, that's all good. Let's go back here. I'm going to make a band pass filter by combining a high pass and low pass on the QMMG. Send this back here. Okay. Let's say I want to control both of those. Put them at 0 like this, and send one control voltages, the low here. Perfect. If I want this to be less steppy, I can use this. So I will take the output of this, send what I want to slow at the input. We have the same thing right now. And here we can slow it down. And we can control this. Okay, so let's start to make fun things happen. So I can show you how much weirdness can be achieved with this module. Let's say I want a sub-oscillator. I will patch my VCO to the pulse in of the sample and hold part. So it will divide the frequency here. I'm going to send this there. Low pass gate. We'll open it just a tiny bit. It doesn't work all the time because it basically only works when this is a saw wave, because it doesn't get it when it's a sine wave. That's good. So you see, it's sub. It's 1 octave below our main frequency over there. Let's clock the 245 so we can have some pitches. Okay, why not? Put some reverb from the blue sky over there. Okay, what else could we want random? Let's say every beginning of the sequence I want this to trigger. So every beginning here we have something happening. This something can be triggering an envelope that will control something. Something could be white noise into a VCA. So once in a while we have something. Could be that we could send 2 row of this 245 here. In the 257, take the output, send it back here. So here I have the same sequence than before. And here, another one. It's a bit more weird. And we could use this one to say that we alternate between the two. You can see the uncertainty there. If I want a VCA, could use this. So plug in 2. Put back into the mixer. This is our volume. Let's trigger a sequence, an envelope on each step. This envelope will open this. And we can have this fluctuating random voltage to control the length of this envelope. And so on. There's no end to this, except the number of output. And as soon as if we start to change some stuff, it goes all crazy. Let's set it to fast. Change this. Yeah. Now we are entering the maxi loop territory. We had a fairly normal patch going on before. Okay, we'll unpatch all this and go back with another patch. There's one thing that I like, is to make random FM percussion, but that alternate with a more noisy thing. So let's take one oscillator and white noise, each on one side of the crossfader here. So here we have our sine wave, and here white noise. And since it can already be fun to just patch a fluctuating random voltage to this. This makes weird fun stuff. Also, one thing I like is to patch a fluctuating random voltage to control another one. Can be even more fun if you feed one back into itself. Or feed the result back into the control. You want uncertainty, you can have some. Also, instead of the noise being the source of the sample and hold, why not using one of those chaotic stuff? Also, they are unipolar, so it makes it easier to control things in some situations. Let's take the pulse here. Pulse input. And I'm going to take the result here. Okay. Now I want one of this to trigger an envelope. It's going to be a short one. It's going to control the opening of a low-pass gate. Okay. The second one, same trick than before. It will come here. I really like to use this one as a probability of, like, you send a divided gate there and you get more divisions. Let's trigger 2 other envelope generators with this. I'm going to send this to FM. Okay, so I went way too far, as usual, when doing stuff with this module, and my phone that I used to film got out of memory. So back a bit later, there's a few things that I wanted to show. One of my favorite is the fact that those stored and quantized random voltages, once you activate them once here, they will actually update when you move the knob on this output with this one and on those 2 outputs with this one. So if I patch this to something, let's say the waveform, see I have a few different settings. We use it on pitch for once. I will do the classic surge modular trick. But that's something I wanted to point out, is that the fact that there is no difference between audio and voltages in the CU rack version makes a lot of surge patches possible, like the subharmonic generator thing. So let's patch this to control. Okay. It's probably just too much voltages, so we'll just attenuate it. So here I have a set of different subharmonics. And I still have access to the control of this knob actually. So if I send a sequence to this, okay, fun. And now every time a trigger gets here, it will change the different values this can access. So okay, let's use this on one side, white noise. On the other side, here, output to low pass gate, pulse to low pass gate. This is one of my favorite patch, I think. It does work very well. Okay, now we have the pulse length that we can have fun with. So let's use one row to just make one gate, or 2 gates actually. Those 2 gates that are not a clock are going to get divided by 2 and used to crossfade here. Okay. Now let's use 2 other make some random stuff happen from here. This will control the duration of the pulse. This is fun. Maybe a bit more tone shaping could be fun as well, but this is just to demonstrate. Fluctuating rather voltage to the wave shape, which will also change the way this gets triggered. Because it's not always a sawtooth. This is a good example of something that can be fun to patch. Very slow, fluctuating random too. Got lost again, as always. Here is the Verbos random sampling. I want to finish this video with doing a quick comparison between the two, because this was the closest both in interface and function of the real sources of uncertainty that you could get, except of course the Sputnik that was pretty much the same than this one, but a bit bigger. This one has been my favorite random module for quite a long time now. I would say this got instantly equal to this because they have some very major differences. The main one being the fluctuating random voltages range. The Verbos one goes way up into audio range and can be used for purely rhythmic material. Also, it has gate 1, gate 2 that are linked to the speed of the fluctuating random, but they are not high when the voltage is high. They're just uncorrelated to the level of the voltage, but at the same speed. And those are quite handy to make just random stuff happening. So here, let's cycle this. I'm going to send that to control the speed of that fluctuating random voltage. So yeah, then you have the quantized random, which is basically the same than this one. There's a weird, like when I was doing the manual sweep, when you do this with this one, there's a bit of a slew somewhere. I won't demonstrate it, but I mean, it's something that it's less fun to do with the end. No problem with voltages though. So this one ditch the stored random voltage and has a quite different sample and hold. This one has an analog shift register. This means that you can have one source going there, one trigger source going there, and it will pass the voltage to the next sample and hold. Or you could actually use this as 4 sample and hold. So this one is only one source and one rhythm, but with lots of tweakability around. This one is for either linked or unlinked sample and hold, which can be very fun as well. One of the other thing is the noise with this one. Let's compare the noise actually. Always interesting. Let's go white. White. This is source of uncertainty. Random sampling. This one is louder. Yeah, Yeah. And this one has a metallic noise, which is great for hi-hats and stuff like this. What else is different there? I think that's probably it. This one is much more expensive than this one, but to be honest, the feel of the knobs is 10 times better on this than on those. You can feel that it's not shameful in any way, the Tiptop and Buchla stuff, but the quality and the hand of the Verbos stuff is very good, better than this. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. I just make a little sample pack out of this, as always, for my Patreon subscriber. Feel free to leave a like or comment or whatever if it was helpful. And see you for the next one. Bye bye.